Greetings, welcome back to Pink Oddbird. Today we're here to do a flip through of this Rumpelstiltskin book. And before we get started though, I do want to pop in and share a quick message. Today I spent a lot of time getting things loaded up into my Etsy shop, so I just wanted to take a quick minute to come and show you a little brief overview of what I have listed in my shop. And if you are interested in any of these things, instead of putting this in this actual video, like showing all of this, I wanted to get this video out today. So what I'm going to do is a link down in the description box below to a video where I show you all of these things in more detail. And it's going to be a special link, so you will have to click that link in order to get to that video. So that is what I wanted to say about that. So let's get on with Rumple. All right, so now, let's go ahead and take a look at the book. This is a book that I made for the swap in alternative junk journals, and the theme this time was either dark fantasy or dark fairy tale. I decided to go with a dark fairy tale character, one of my absolute favorites, Rumpelstiltskin, and obviously his story is way old, and it's based on you know, childhood stories, and there's several books, and then there's also the Once Upon a Time show, where they basically have a bunch of the characters from Disney who live in a town called Storybrooke. So this character here on the cover is Rumpelstiltskin in that show. However, I didn't want the whole entire book to be just based on him. I wanted it to be based on like the different versions of Rumple throughout the fairy tale. So that's kind of sprinkled through. So let's go ahead and take a look. For the closure, I had this cool rope, and then I didn't know how to get these to stop unraveling, so I just kind of burnt them. But I think that kind of goes with the Rumpelstiltskin vibe. So anyway, I backed him on gold glitter paper, and the cover is a fabric cover. It's a single signature. It's got roughly 15 pages in it, and it's like a shiny gold, but it's also velvet. And I'm sure the camera isn't showing it that great, but it is like a dark forest green velvet. And I thought that was perfect because it kind of matches with his kind of greenish goldish look. I left the strings out here on the side, and then I've just attached some little trim, some little gold trim here. And then I've attached 2 tassels down at the bottom as well. All right, let's go ahead and start the flip through. So on the inside, I've lined it with this really pretty fabric, but it kind of reminds me of dark forest a little bit. So it's got really dark leaves and such, and then it also has flecks of gold in it. So I thought that was super perfect for this book. And so again, I've used a lot of the old images of Rumpelstiltskin, and in the show, he is a pawn shop owner. So I thought that some of these Tsunami Rose advertisements and stuff were really kind of like cool and fun to go with his like pawn store vibe. Can't talk today. So here I have just clipped this on with a little Tim Holtz clip, but it's basically Rumple, and I put him on some more of that gold cardstock. So you can either just journal on the back of it, or you can take this off here and add it somewhere as a pocket. So that's that. There's a pocket here, and then I just wrote "Hello, dearie," because that's what he always says in the show. There's some gold fabric here, some black fabric here. This is some vintage tissue paper stuff that I got at an antique shop. Oh, I stitched on a little bit of gold yarn there. Another one of those Tsunami Rose tags. There's a little snake here, some paper I got from Priscilla. And Rumpelstiltskin in the show has a contract. I couldn't find the full contract, but that was the best I could find. And then the little paper that's in front of it is one of those due dates papers, which I thought was appropriate for the theme. There's a little globe here. Some more Rumpelstiltskin here, and he's talking to the royal family. This is a digi from Ivy Shutters, and I just stitched on some gold like fringe stuff here so that it would be kind of fun and sticking out. but this is one of the images from her kit, and I backed it with ledger paper. Some more Tsunami Rose. This paper here is from Figaro Designs. It's her new digital kit called Vintage Mess. She was kind enough to send this over to me, and I thought that the look of it was perfect for this Rumple book, so I used it right away. I coffee stained it. And then here's another one of Lori's Ivy Shutters, and just a dark kind of imagery there. And then I just put some gold sequins, and again backed on ledger paper, and that is vintage ledger paper. Just a little book page. There is Rumple, and I did back a lot of these on heavy cardstock, so they're really sturdy. So you can either write on these with gel pens, or you can add photos or other stuff, I guess. Oh, but this is when he's upset. It says the witch has told you, because he had, you know, she has to try and guess what his name is, and so he doesn't know that he was heard singing his name. So way to go, Rumple. So I used some of my really large playing cards from Miss Crafty Irina, and I just made a little, I put the image of Rumple here on the front, and then I just wrote out, do you want to make a deal? Because in the show, obviously, he's asking everyone if they want to make a deal with him. There he is again. And I just stamped some little lines on this bag. There's some of that ribbon, this closure, there's some of that, and I just, you know, made it like a tab on the side of the page. So here we have a large pocket, and there's a grumpy Rumple, and I actually left this one as a belly band, so it's open on both sides, so you can tuck some things in there and hide it away. I did stamp the feather because in the show, his contract, he signs his pen as a feather. So I did do some like random little bits of gold gilding on some of the pages. So some of that is just randomly here and there, just traces of gold everywhere. And there's some gold vellum, so that's see-through, so that's really fun. And then a little typewriter there. A book page by Baby Bunting, but I just put it in mostly because it says by Baby, because what he wants from the gal is her firstborn child, so bye bye baby. So there's some fabric, some more of that advertisement, and I thought this one was really cool because it's like talking about the store and stuff, but down here it says 79th and 739 and 741 7th Street Northwest is the place to deal. So obviously, you know, Rumple likes to make deals. So here's a little spinning wheel contraption. I used some images from Medieval Mirage, and I think this goes so perfectly here on the center of the book. But this is from one of her medieval kits, and then this is just some really pretty gold paper. And so in the center, I've just left a loose tag, and I just did a little collage, and I kind of fussy cut out the dagger, and on the dagger it says Rumpelstiltskin. So in the show, whoever's name shows on the dagger is who the dark one is. So currently it's Rumple, since his name is on there. Coffee stained paper comes from Reem at Paper Pixie. Thank you, Reem. I just did a little bit of gold netting here. There's a little baby carriage. There's another one of those you want to make a deal cards. Kind of perfect for being on a playing card, I think. And here's another image from Ivy Shutters kit, but look at how cool that is. It has little old books and stuff. I thought this was too perfect. Some more advertisements and receipts. Again, all backed on heavy cardstock and stitched. So here is another little Rumple tag. I just collaged a bunch of gold stuff on there. Got the moon here. Some more advertisements. Tsunami Rose. That's the Vintage Mess kit again. A little stamp, and then there's a little sequins tab. another trifold. And then I just took one of my Fairytale book pages and folded it up like an envelope, and it is an actual Rumpelstiltskin page, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yes, this is a Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah. So here's another spinning wheel, and this paper is also like a dark gold, which I have like different tones of gold in here, so I think that's really kind of fun, and those feel really cool. There's another one of Ivy Shutter's digis backed on ledger, but this one says Dark Magic. Perfect. And then it's got all the books in the background. Some trim, another little image of Rumple there. Look at that staining she did. So here we have Rumple, the spinning wheel, and the daughter, and some more Daisy digis. Got the little snake here. Rumple's skin is kind of scaly in the show, so I thought that was perfect. Some more gold gilding there. Piece of gold fabric. Down here we have a little Ephemeras vintage garden, and then there's just some little cards in here. In the back here, this is one of the tutorials that Dolly did. It's for the Vellum shaker envelopes. So you can see there's little golden stars inside of there. And then inside, it's got that really cool textured gold paper lining the envelope. And then on the inside of it here is just some extra little gold stuff that I didn't use that maybe you can use in the book, whoever gets this. And in the very back, we have a large crow and one final image of Rumple there. And that is it. Oh, there's my stamp. I almost didn't see it. So this is my Rumpelstiltskin book. I hope that you guys all have enjoyed this. I love him so much, and I had a ton of fun making this, and so I am just really happy with the way that it came out. So again, I will link down to all of the pertinent information from this video in the description box below. So definitely take a look down there and see where you can find a bunch of information that I've given. So that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.